My friends, have you ever found yourself in a conversation where your mind just goes blank? You're trying to be interesting, confident, or just normal, but somehow the words don't come. That awkward silence. It feels like it lasts forever. We've all been there. But the good news is, conversation isn't just a talent, it's a skill. And every skill can be learned, refined, and mastered. Talking smart doesn't mean using big words or sounding like someone you're not. It means knowing how to connect. It's about making others feel seen, heard, and comfortable in your presence. That's the true power of conversation. And when you understand this, you'll realize that anyone, including you, can become a confident communicator. Connection begins with listening, not speaking. This is the foundation of every meaningful conversation. Too often, people think that being a great communicator means having the perfect words or the most exciting stories. But in reality, the most powerful speakers are also the most attentive listeners. Listening is not just about staying quiet while the other person talks. It's about being fully present, engaged and responsive. It means tuning in not just to the words being said, but to the emotions behind them, the body language that accompanies them, and the pauses in between. When you truly listen to someone, you give them a gift, the feeling of being seen and understood. In most conversations, people are waiting for their turn to talk. They're thinking of what they'll say next, how they'll respond, or how they'll shift the topic to something they care about. But when you pause that inner dialogue and focus all your attention on the other person, the entire dynamic changes. Suddenly, you're not just exchanging words. You're creating a moment of connection. That connection doesn't require clever phrases or rehearsed responses. It grows naturally when someone feels like you care about what they're saying. Eye contact is one of the first signs of genuine listening. When you hold someone's gaze, not in a stiff or forced way, but in a relaxed and open manner, it signals interest. Nodding occasionally, using small verbal cues like "I see" or "that makes sense," and matching their emotional tone show that you're actively engaged. People open up more when they sense that they're being heard without judgment or distraction. Interrupting, on the other hand, breaks the flow. It says, "What I have to say is more important than what you're saying." Even if your intentions are good, interrupting too often can shut down connection. Give people space to complete their thoughts. Sometimes the most meaningful part of their message comes just after a pause, when they think you're still with them. If you speak too soon, you might miss the moment when they were about to open up. Listening also means remembering. If someone tells you about their passion for music or their stressful work project, and you mention it the next time you meet, they'll feel valued. That simple act shows that their words mattered to you. It proves that you weren't just hearing, you were listening. Remembering details, even small ones, is one of the strongest ways to build connection over time. When someone feels heard, they feel safe. And when they feel safe, they're more likely to share, to engage, and to trust. That's when conversations go deeper, become more meaningful, and build lasting relationships. In this kind of space, where listening takes priority over speaking, people begin to relax. They stop trying to impress. They stop worrying about being judged. And in that relaxed state, the conversation becomes effortless. Active listening also helps you ask better questions. Instead of following a script, you ask based on what you just heard. This makes your questions feel natural and shows that you're not just talking. You're truly interested. You might ask, "How did that make you feel?" Or, "What happened next?" These kinds of questions invite stories, and stories are where real connection lives. They bring emotion, experience, and personality into the conversation. It's not about being perfect or always knowing the right thing to say. It's about being fully present in the moment. Listening is the quiet power behind every great communicator. It transforms your relationships because it shifts the focus from me to we. Confidence in conversation comes from presence, not perfection. So many people believe that to sound confident, they need to speak flawlessly, use perfect grammar, or never hesitate. But the truth is, true conversational confidence doesn't come from knowing all the right words. It comes from showing up, fully in the moment, being grounded, and expressing yourself with authenticity. When you're present, your attention is not scattered. You're not thinking about how you're being judged or how impressive you sound. You're simply engaged with the person in front of you. And that calm awareness naturally creates a sense of confidence. Presence is powerful because it creates a connection between your inner world and the outer conversation. When you're present, your voice becomes steady, your thoughts become clear, and your body language aligns with your words. People can sense it. They don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real. And presence is what makes you real in a world full of distractions and rehearsed lines. Instead of trying to impress, you start to express. And that's where genuine confidence grows. Perfection creates pressure. It leads to overthinking, self-doubt, and fear of mistakes. But presence allows for imperfection. It accepts that a pause, a stumble, or a change of thought is part of being human. When you embrace those moments instead of fearing them, your confidence becomes unshakable. It's no longer tied to how smooth your words are, but to how comfortable you are being yourself. That comfort becomes visible to others, and it invites them to relax too. Being present in conversation means tuning out distractions, your phone, your to-do list, or your inner critic, and tuning in to the person you're speaking with. It means hearing not just the words, but the feelings behind the words. It means noticing their tone, their eyes, their energy. This kind of presence makes your responses more thoughtful and sincere. You begin to listen, not to reply, but to understand. And from that understanding, your words naturally flow. One way to strengthen presence is to slow down. Speak a little more slowly, breathe more deeply, and allow yourself space to think. This gives your brain time to find the right words without rushing, and it signals calmness to the other person. People who speak too fast often do so out of nervousness. Slowing down communicates control. It shows that you trust yourself and your message, even if it's not delivered perfectly. Another key to presence is eye contact. Not forced or staring, but soft and steady eye contact that lets the other person know you're with them. When combined with open body language, uncrossed arms, a relaxed posture, and a slight lean forward, it builds rapport without saying a word. This nonverbal presence often speaks louder than anything you say. It tells people you are confident, engaged, and respectful. When you're present, you also become more aware of your thoughts. If a negative voice in your head starts to whisper, "You're not saying this right," or "You sound awkward," you can observe it instead of believing it. Presence gives you the power to let that voice pass without letting it take over. That awareness helps you stay centered and focused, even when you're feeling uncertain. Confidence grows in the moments when you stop trying to be impressive and start trying to be intentional. It's about being aware of yourself and the other person in real time. This awareness allows you to respond instead of react. You begin to communicate with purpose instead of panic. You become grounded, open, and clear, and in that space, confidence becomes natural, not something you perform, but something you live. The way you speak to others reflects how deeply you value connection, and the way you carry yourself in conversation reveals how deeply you trust yourself. True communication is not about impressing people with fancy words or flawless delivery. It's about presence, listening, sincerity, and the courage to show up as you are. When you listen with intent and speak with purpose, your words gain weight, even in silence. So stop chasing perfection. Start showing up. The real secret to effortless conversation is not in having all the answers, but in having the confidence to be real, the presence to listen, and the heart to connect. Speak smart, but live smarter, by leading every conversation with your truth.